Good morning, I'm Jim Moore. You are watching Words of Encouragement, program number 442 on this, the 10th day of March, 2022. I almost got through the whole thing without looking at the laptop. I'm getting better. You're getting better. We're all getting better, right? You're clinging to Jesus. We're clinging to the hope of the glory of the Lord. And so welcome today. Welcome to the program. This program's intention is to encourage your heart and to give you strength for the days ahead. And I have no other desire than that the Lord himself would come to you during this time, however long you get to watch, and speak something that will alter your heart and your mind and help you think in a new and a more perfect way, the way of the Lord. That's what we're told to do, is to, his thoughts are higher than ours, so that isn't that's not a statement of defeat, it's a statement of invitation, that we can come up and let our thoughts be more like his. So do you want that today? I believe you do. So thanks for joining us today, and again, this program comes on at 7 a.m. in the Central Time. 7 a.m. West Coast time. If you're living on the West Coast, it's 7 a.m. It's when it comes on live. You can watch it anytime after the program. It's always saved on Facebook, and it's also downloaded onto YouTube. So you can look at it either one. People say, well, you had that one sermon about this, and I don't know how to help you find it any other way than just, if you can think of the title, remember basically what it talked about, you can look it up. The point is 440 whatever of these messages are saved both on Facebook, not as many of them on YouTube, but it's still quite a collection. Hi Meg, God bless you this morning. Love you, nice to have you. So again, for those of you who've yet to try it out, I encourage you to go to Facebook, or excuse me, not to Facebook, but to YouTube. And we're on a number of social media platforms now. We're working on making up a list so that you can see them all. Good morning, Angie. And so again, it's helpful to us. Your response, whichever social media outlet that we are on, your response when you watch is helpful. I know we watch a lot of stuff. I do too. I turn on this guy, this gal, this ministry, this message, this whatever. And I am not the guy. I mean, we can't always stop to say something about everything. But it does help when you do that. So if you want to go on YouTube, comment, say something, that's great. If you want to comment, say something here, that's very helpful. What do I mean by helpful? It opens it up, more people get to see it. Debbie, God bless you. Carrie, cousin, God bless you. Love you. I've been praying for you, actually. So, so if you haven't yet gone to YouTube, I encourage you to do that. And the way to find our channel, my channel, is to go to, you have to put in 5 words. And I know some of you have heard this many times, so pardon me, but Jim Moore, my name, Jim Moore, Words of Encouragement. If you just put in Jim Moore, there's a bunch of them. If you put in Words of Encouragement alone, just those 3 words, there's a bunch of them. But if you put in all 5 of those words, Jim Moore, Words of Encouragement, my channel will come up. Subscribe and hit the notification bell, and you'll be able to see when they come on. They don't always get downloaded immediately after the program. I always try, but sometimes what's going on in the world of the internet and connectivity and a variety of things might prohibit that from getting downloaded on YouTube up until the end of the day. So don't be distressed if that happens. All right, so today's message is called The Stress of the Nations, and we're going to talk about what it means to be under stress. Life is full of stress. There's really no way to get away entirely from the stress. Distress in the Bible and stress they're similar, but not exactly. Most of the time when we think of the word stress, we would think of being under pressure, life's pressure. And that certainly applies to the word distress as it's found in the Bible. If you look up the number of times, there's a good, 20 times or so that the word is used, and at least in the King James. And it has a pretty specific meaning. Oh, I need to tell you really quickly today before I forget, I will not be on the program tomorrow. Had some things that have come up that I have to take care of. So pardon me, pardon my absence, but I won't be on tomorrow. Typically Friday's the last day of the week we're on, and then we show up again on Monday. So this time it's going to be a 3-day weekend, as it were, for me. So thank you for understanding that. All right. So let's look up the word distress in the Greek and see what it says. So it is the word, and I'm terrible at pronouncing these, stenochoria. Stenochoria. Yeah, you don't care. You're not going to remember it anyway, but it's there if you want to look at it. Okay. So there are some people that do remember. I know a couple of people. The word means a couple things. It means the first definition is usually the most applicable one, and it says narrowness of room. Narrowness of room. Have you ever felt like your room to move, your liberty, your freedom, almost like being trapped, like it's getting narrower and narrower? You know what I'm saying? It's kind of hard to define what that means, but the scripture talks about having a broad open space, having lots of room. He brought me out. I cried in my distress. I cried to the Lord, and He brought me out to a broad place. So that's actually saying distress, a narrow place. In other words, restricted. Feels like you can't move very much. You don't have a lot of options. You don't have a lot of choices. Can I say you feel kind of stuck? And you turn to the right and it doesn't necessarily work, and you turn to the left. Now, I want to start out by saying, as in all things, God has an answer to this. He has an answer to every distress that you, your city, your country, or your planet will go through. It is actually the plan of the Lord to allow the distress of nations to assist in the birthing of His kingdom. Does it encourage you, or have you stopped long enough to think about the reality? I am always trying to bring people back. Ariana, I think that's what I can see your name. Good to have you. If you, I try to bring people back to the reality of the kingdom, not just some kind of a mystical idea, but the reality of the fact that the Lord Himself will sit upon a throne in Jerusalem, judging the nations. He does talk about things on an individual and a national basis, even a global basis. When He talks about the nations, plural, He's talking about the whole planet. So part of His design is to allow the distresses of the nations, of the world that we mostly bring upon ourselves. Okay, the world is in the condition it is because of 6,000 years of rebellion and rebellion against God and dismissing His commandments. And again, I want to bring you back to the commandments of the Lord are there for your good. They're for your protection. They're like a shield over your heart. It's not God trying to stop you from having fun. And there is such a thing as the pleasures of sin for a season, the Bible talks about. Nobody would do it, okay? But there's a destructive kind of fun and a healthy kind of fun. I've done them both, okay? The problem is you go into the destructive kind of fun and sometimes they can get a hold of you and you have a wrestling match going on. All right, that's another issue. I want to bring you to the understanding that the distresses that are on the nation, okay, there we are again. I hope I didn't lose you. I had a thing come on the screen that said was lost.